Hello, and welcome to GameSpot's Football Head-to-Head 2004 edition. I'm Alex Navarro.
And I'm Rich Gallup, and this week we're going to be looking at Madden NFL 2005 versus ESPN 2K5. I've got Madden, Alex has ESPN. Alex, where are the rest of the games?
Well, this year there's only 2 football games. Microsoft decided to take the year off. Midway ran away screaming like a little girl, and apparently 989 needs their entire development team to make Wayne Gretzky hockey. Who knows? Anyway, there's only 2 contenders now, EA and Sega Sports.
Now, another thing I'm noticing that's strange this year, Alex, is that my wallet isn't as light as it normally is, regardless of the fact they're missing 3 games. Why is this?
This is because ESPN NFL 2K5 is only $20 this year. They decided to drop the price, get all higgledy-piggledy with everything, and now they're trying to outdo Madden. They're outfoxing them. So
that doesn't seem very fair to Madden. If ESPN is so much cheaper, it must obviously be the choice for everyone out there to play football.
Not necessarily. Madden is still a great game this year, and the two are very evenly matched in a lot of ways. In fact, some ways Madden is still better. So that's why we're doing this little feature thing here to, figure out which one is the best one.
And another little side for this feature, if you own a GameCube, a Game Boy Advance, or a PC, there's only one pro football game for you, and that's Madden. So we're only talking Xbox and PlayStation 2 today, right?
Gotta love a monopoly. Let's talk about the offense. Neither games this year has really made any huge leaps forward in offense, but ESPN, this year they've added something different to the running game. It's a little more momentum-based, a little bit like Madden, but not
a little bit like Madden, huh?
Yeah, it's a little bit like Madden, but it's not too much of the Madden. Okay. It's still its own thing. And they've upgraded the passing game this year to sort of like do less drop passes. There's less gimme passes where the guy will just kind of bobble the ball and then not catch it. Mm-hmm. It's more realistic. It's more like the real offense in football.
Now Madden, on the other hand, Madden's got some great stuff going on for the pre-snap formation shift. You ever played, remember the original original Tecmo Super Bowl, when you picked a play with the Washington Redskins, all of a sudden like 10 guys would go in every direction?
So you're comparing this game to an 8-bit Nintendo game
No,
now.
I'm saying it's kind of similar in that this time you actually get to control it. While the Redskins, you only got 3 plays or 4 plays to choose from, and they all just did these set motions. You get to move anyone anywhere you want. So beyond the pre-snap formation shift, we also got some option routes for the wide receivers where they can decide mid-route whether or not, is there some open field to go to that. And then beyond that, wait, there's not too much more.
No, there's not.
So I'm confused. Both games don't really have that much more added to the offense.
No, they don't, and that's what makes it kind of tough to pick a winner. But I'm going ESPN on this one just because, as a whole, it feels better. It feels more like real football on the offense. Madden's just a little too easy on the offense. It's too easy to break big runs. You can still kind of drop back and just do like those big Madden money play routes. Whatever. So that's dumb. It's still good, but ESPN's better.
All right, cool. Let's move on to some defense. All right, the big focus for Madden this year is defense. They got my boy Ray Lewis on the cover, and the hit stick is what it's all about. Have you seen the hit stick in action?
Oh, I've seen the hit stick.
The hit stick is awesome. You're in the defense, you got Rodney Harrison waiting back there, just crouching, waiting for that pull receiver with his head looking the other way like, it's Terrell Owens or something like that. Comes across the middle, bam, hit stick.
Boom!
Unfortunately, you can miss occasionally, but when you do connect, it looks awesome. Also on defense this year, they got the defensive hot routes, where you can decide whether you want a linebacker to go into deeper zone coverage, spy the QB, go to flat zone, maybe some blitzing, all this great stuff. And there's alignment shifts for both defensive backs, linebackers, and defensive line, which I'm pretty sure your game doesn't have.
That's true. We have defensive line shifts in direction, but you can't make them change their route on the fly or anything crazy like that. However, ESPN still does have a lot of the stuff you just mentioned. You can move linebackers and defensive backs around like in packages. You can't just individually move them around. You can individually set blitzes, though, if you don't already have them lined up to blitz. There's also this pressure-sensitive tackle button. It's sort of like the hit stick, but it's a button. It's not a stick.
And sticks are much cooler than buttons, as we all know. So I'm going to say, defensively, the better game is Madden 2005.
I'm afraid I'm going to have to agree with you on this.
You throw in all the ludicrous pre-snap configurations you can do. You I want, Richard Seymour going this way. I can't have Ted Washington anymore. I want Richard Seymour going this way. I want Richard Seymour going this way. I want Roosevelt Colvin going that way. I want Ty Law up there. Rodney Harrison with a hit stick. You got a lot you can do. Madden.
No denying it. Madden is the better defensive game.
All right, let's move on to some special teams.
Special teams? Why should you care about special teams? It's just kicking. I'll tell you why, because kicking is an important part of the game. It is the most overlooked part of the game, and I'm telling you that ESPN is the better one this year. They still have their tried and true kick meter. It's the same thing. It's better this year because it seems more balanced depending on how your kicker or your punter is rated.
I gotta be honest with you, I'm gonna agree with you, Alex. Unfortunately, Madden, they tweak the kicking meter just a little bit, but special teams, whatever, you can have it. Both games have it in Adam Vinatieri, right?
Yeah, they totally do.
That's so fun. I'm fine then. Fine. Moving on. All right, moving on to gameplay AI. Madden, really strong. All these crazy defensive shifts. Can the AI handle it? Yes, they can. You might argue they focus a little bit too much on deflecting passes, but whatever. You move all these guys all over the place, they know what they're going to do when they get there, and that's great. Smart, just like Bill Belichick's Patriots.
That's true. Bill Belichick's Patriots are quite smart. However, ESPN is also a very smart game as far as the AI goes. There's this whole NFL coaching profile thing they put in the game this year. So it's like every single NFL coach has their own profile that matches their style of coaching. You got a coach who wants to go into the hurry-up offense, more often, when they're down. They'll do that. They'll do all that stuff. You're playing Madden, still kind of feels like the same game, each time out. Like, they're more difficult depending on player ratings, but not necessarily on coaching. And they'll see the little player personality quirks in there. Peyton will call all those crazy audibles and what have you. Yeah, I know Peyton, man, whatever. But there's also some really good player AI on the field. It's like the blocking AI is better this year. A lot of defensive AI seems to have improved in a lot of areas.
But still, they get confused a little bit, resulting in some nice plays.
Here and there, yeah. There's a little defensive back miscommunication here and there, shall we say.
So it sounds like we got a push going here. You got the great coaching, I got the great players.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd love to say that ESPN's the better one, just because I would, but I don't know that I can. In fact, I can't pick a winner on this.
I can't either. So let's just move on to the franchise mode.
I'm going to be perfectly frank with the people here. Franchise modes are for nerds.
Nerds!
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 Nerds. But if you're way into the whole number crunching thing and managing teams and what have you, both games this year have great franchise modes. ESPN so far as their improvements go, they've really redone the contract system. Now you can totally balance contracts exactly how they would in the NFL. You can front load them, back load them, middle load them, do whatever you want to do with that. Give signing bonuses. So you can give guaranteed money or you can give no guaranteed money if you don't think the player's worth it. There's also this whole player management aspect of it, where you can before each game you can decide if you want to manage do like the real coaching thing before a game. So like the whole week you can schedule out practices, who spends what time in the film room. If you got an injured player, do you want to put him in the whirlpool? Do you want to put him on the bike? It's crazy. It's madness.
That sounds a little difficult, though. How easy is it to manage all this pregame stuff?
It's not. It's not easy at all, in fact. It's a little bit convoluted. I'm not going to lie to you. But it's still a cool feature.
It sounds great, and I'm going to admit, ESPN probably made a bigger jump in quality over last year's game than Madden did, but Madden was already so awesome, so stacked in the franchise mode that ESPN can't simply make up the ground. This time, Madden threw in, on top of the great owners mode, the great franchise mode, all their mini camps, they have Storyline Central with licensed newspapers. We can read in the Boston Globe now that Richard Seymour is upset about his contract and he needs a new one. We can listen to EA Sports Radio with my man Tony Bruno, who actually isn't in New England yet, I don't think. But my man Tony Bruno will take calls from players, from coaches, from listeners, following your team for the entire season. It's great. On top of that, there's player morale. As I said, Richard Seymour is upset. Free agents, maybe they don't want to go to New England because there's snow and they're wimps. Maybe they want to go to Asia and find themselves. I'm not sure. There's also a new draft system. You can finally scout players before in the combine and everything. That's really cool. And don't forget, as I said, the aforementioned mini camps, I can play the mini camps for days on end, just kicking with Adam.
You know what? I gotta agree with you. As much as I love ESPN's franchise mode, I dig the mini camp stuff. I've always dug the owner mode stuff. Yeah. And just on a whole, yeah, this is just a better franchise mode. In fact, it's probably the best franchise mode that's ever been in a game.
I agree. Let's move on to online features. Moving on to the online mode, both games have seen a lot of improvements. Madden specifically is now finally on an Xbox, so you can take the great graphics of an Xbox game and play them online against your friends via Xbox Live. Unfortunately, their premium league system they were promising isn't really up yet. And it's supposed to be free, but they want your credit card number. I don't like giving my credit card number out to my girlfriend, let alone a big conglomerate like EA. Sorry.
Yeah, as much as I trust EA not to do anything too shady, I also ain't giving them my credit card. And that's the whole thing. It's like right now you're talking about an abstract. You're talking about something that doesn't exist yet. So presumably it will exist by the beginning of the season, but right now ESPN has leagues up and running. I have two words for you, my friend. Live rosters. on their league system.
That's cool.
It's hosting everything. Like you can do trades in your leagues, you can track injuries. You can't sign free agents or do any, the whole like franchise mode stuff, but it's awesome.
So EA's could be awesome.
EA's could be awesome, but
But it's not. It's just not there yet.
It's just not there. It doesn't.
And they want your credit card.
And they're eventually going to want your credit. Well, you don't need the credit card number to play online.
Right? No.
But just for their league stuff and their premium pass craziness. Yeah. And they whatever.
No.
So yeah, ESPN. I think just overall, there have been some problems reported and whatever, and it dropped games, what have you. But supposedly all that stuff's, being fixed and is fixed. I haven't run into anything playing it. I'm loving playing ESPN online. So I'm going with ESPN.
Have it.
All right, now that we got this online out of the way, let's go on to all those other crazy features that football games got this year. As far as other features go, ESPN NFL 2K5 is jam-packed with stuff. Let's talk about the VIP profiles. Just like the coaching profiles, the game creates a profile for you that's just like the coaching profiles in the game. It tracks everything you do. It decides how you play. Like, do you run up the middle more, or do you like to pass out, or what kind of, how often do you audible, that kind of stuff. And then you can take that profile and put it online. People can download it. You can download other people's rosters and you can scout them. So you want to play against the number one guy. You want to learn how he plays the game. You can learn. There's also a couple other little peripheral things, like a celebration editor. You can decide what each, what if you hold a button down, like when you score a touchdown, what kind of touchdown celebration they're going to do. There's also a stadium music editor on the Xbox. So if you got custom soundtracks on there, you can make your own stadium music. So if you want, Welcome to the Jungle to play right before Madden Vinatieri kicks it off, there you go, man. You can make it happen. You can make that happen. And then, there's the first-person football in the crib, and,
Where are the celebrities? Come on, Alex. You can't talk about ESPN without mentioning the great people. David Arquette, Carmen Electra, Funkmaster Flex. These are what football is all about, and they're in your game.
All right, yeah, the celebrities suck. All right, I'm not going to lie to you. The whole celebrity aspect of ESPN is totally dumb, but you can just ignore it. You don't have to do nothing. It's just, you can just forget it's even there.
It's true, and I got to admit, beyond the celebrities, you kind of have a few more features than Madden. We got no celebrities, unfortunately, sitting over in Madden, but there are some cool mini games, 2-minute drill, rushing attack. There's also the collector's edition, which is supposed to be cool. It's got 3 old versions of Madden on there. They don't tell you which ones they are. Who knows? But I mean, they're there to show you how far Madden's come, which is nice, but at the same time, you want to play them once to look at it, and then you're like, why am I bothering to play this game when I have the great game of Madden NFL 2005 already in my hand? There's Create a Fan, which is pretty cool. You get to make some crazy guys. You can make the Barrel Man for the Broncos. You can put some crazy guy in camo and deer antlers for the Packers. But at the same time, then these fans get made, and you only see them a couple times a game, these cutscenes that repeat each other over and over again. And there's the Madden Challenge, which, you unlock stuff, and no one really uses those pennants. I think you unlock anyways.
They're like Madden cards, yeah. That thing's, yeah, whatever. And Madden's got some good stuff this year as far as the other features go. But I think ESPN just has more and more better ones.
Although it does have really crappy celebrities.
It does have really crappy celebrities, but on the whole, you have to agree with me, ESPN just has the better overall feature package.
Sure. Let's move on to presentation. All right, presentation. Madden, as it does every year. Great menus, really easy to navigate. You know what's going on, you know what you're looking for. Everyone likes the Madden look. Now they've also added finally a little bit of celebrity there to go with Al Michaels and John Madden and Tony Bruno. The EA Sports Radio, it's a great presentation, nice to listen to. And for reading, we got licensed newspapers, which adds a nice sense of realism to the game.
By the power of Grayskull, what the hell are you talking about, man? All right, look, yeah, I'll agree with you. Tony Bruno, it's a cool thing that they got him in the game. The newspaper stuff is neat, nice menus, yeah, whoa. Listen here, Abigail May. ESPN has absolutely punched up the ESPN style of TV broadcast and all that stuff to like the umpteenth degree. Like you play a game of ESPN and it's like you got Chris Berman doing the intro and the halftime and the post-game show. You got Suzy Kolber there interviewing the player of the game. And yeah, Suzy Kolber totally sucks. I agree.
I like Suzy Kolber. I don't like Chris Berman actually. I think Suzy Kolber is awesome. Chris Berman, I think he's a little tired, but he does do a great job in this game. It is cool to hear Chris Berman giving you highlights during halftime and stuff, but I wouldn't mind like TJ maybe in there or someone.
You would like Suzy Kolber.
I do like Suzy Kolber. She's cool.
Anyway, the point is that, you got these highlight reels, all the stat menus look awesome. The whole game is super easy to navigate. It feels like an ESPN broadcast at all times. And that's just something Madden doesn't have. It doesn't feel like a TV broadcast. It feels like, John Madden's just sitting in a room somewhere going, duh, and then, yeah, that's that. It's not as cool.
ESPN does have a really nice cohesiveness to it with such a powerful license. You see it, you look at the menus, it looks like you're watching ESPN. You go online, it looks like you're following your league on ESPN.com, which is cool. So I guess, yeah, fine, you can have it.
All right, yeah, glad we agree. All right, let's talk about graphics now.
All right, now we're on to graphics, and I can kind of guess where this one's going.
That's right, you can. Because ESPN NFL 2K5 is the best-looking football game ever made.
But...
No.
But...
No.
But...
No.
Okay, fine, let's move on to sound.
Sound is not an aspect of either game this year that is particularly standout, but I think I'm going to let my man Rich start this one off. Let's talk about Madden sound and what's so great about that.
John Madden isn't getting any younger when it comes
No,
to
he's not.
No, he's not. But Al Michaels, he is a free pass for me. Do you believe in miracles? Al Michaels, him and sports go together very well for me. John Madden, though, I gotta admit,
listening to John Madden commentate at this point is like having a bullet bore into my brain at 1 centimeter per minute. Like, it is excruciatingly, like, just long and painful. He's got to stop.
On the other hand, as we were talking about with presentation, Madden, it is a name you recognize. You know Al Michaels. Who are the commentators for ESPN?
There are a couple of generic voice actors, and they always have been. But they're familiar to those who've played the other 2K games because they've been there the whole way along. But you know what? Okay, forget them for a second. They suck. It's recycled commentary.
They're better than Paul McGuire, maybe.
Yeah, probably. They're better
right,
than a little bit better than Paul McGuire. But I mean, let's forget about the commentary. The commentary isn't very good in either game this year. Let's talk about the personalities. Now, I mentioned Chris Berman and Stacey Colbert. There's also Trey Wingo, who is not particularly great. He's
fun.
He's fun.
Right.
He's a happening guy.
Yeah.
Whatever. And then there's Mel Kiper Jr., the creepiest man on television. I mean, come on, everyone loves Mel Kiper. He's on TV for 8 weeks a year. He tells you about the draft, and he's in the game telling you about the draft. It's what you want to hear from Mel Kiper Jr.
That's cool. And Tony Bruno is also another great personality on there, but he is just one guy against everyone.
He is just one guy, and the Tony Bruno stuff is cool. But then again, the ESPN, I mean, you just look at the in-game stuff. There's the sound effects, which are amazing. There's the ESPN style of music that's already, all ESPN licensed music is in there, and then you got the custom soundtracks on the Xbox. Madden does have that too, but at the same time, it's just like with the music editor and all the things you can do with it, it's just a better sound package.
Yeah, that and all the music on EA tracks just really isn't any good.
No, I mean, Franz Ferdinand in a football game? What the hell were they thinking?
I don't know, the Hives.
The Hives? Green Day? I mean, okay, maybe Green Day, because jocks do listen to Green Day, but I mean, come on. Midtown?
We've had Jeff's talked about it before on one of our shows. Basically, just, I think, or maybe Ryan Davis wrote a Game Spotting about it. You just have to pick a theme and go with it.
And yeah, it is. They're getting this list of bands. It's like, okay, who can we shove in this game? And then that's that. And, it takes away from the whole thing.
Next up, the conclusion.
Dun, dun, dun.
So if the question was which game to get this year between the two, I think we can both agree.
ESPN NFL 2K5.
And Madden NFL 2005. You should just get both. ESPN is only $20. Most of you are probably already planning on getting Madden anyway. Just plunk down the extra 20 while you're there, pick it up. New Hampshire, they don't have sales tax. So
exactly. There you go. It's beautiful. And I think in Oregon also.
Right. But if you're only getting one...
ESPN. We got to go with ESPN on this one. I mean, it's the style of presentation of the game is absolutely phenomenal. It plays just like regular football, and yeah, okay, so the defensive stuff isn't there necessarily. But okay, did we mention it's the best-looking football game of all time?
Not to sell Madden short, though, Madden is also a great game. If you're a Madden devotee, you're going to love this one, too. Much better defense, an amped-up franchise mode. Yeah, it's a good game, and I'm not just saying that because Ray Lewis would break me in half if I didn't.
However,
yeah,
while defense may normally win championships, in this case, it does not. ESPN NFL 2K5 is our game of the year as far as football goes.
Go Pats.